Imagine this, a sweet retired nurse alone in the world has a heart attack. While she's fighting for her life in the hospital, the people she trusted most, her niece and nephew, sneak into her apartment and steal everything she owns. Years later, when she passes away, those same greedy relatives get $1 each. Everything else? $9 million. Today you're going to hear the story of how karma came knocking, and delivered perfectly. If you love stories where greed meets justice, smash that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned until the end, because this isn't just revenge, it's poetic justice served on a silver platter. Our story begins with a sweet older lady, a retired nurse, beloved by everyone at her church. She had no children, no husband, just her quiet life, her small but immaculately kept apartment, and a heart full of kindness. Visual cue: sunlight streaming through lace curtains, the faint scent of lavender polish, crystal chandeliers glinting in the morning light. Emotional cue: a life full of care for others, yet quietly vulnerable, trusting the people around her. Everything changed when she suffered a heart attack. Hospitalized, weak and scared, she believed she was surrounded by family, but instead her niece and nephew saw opportunity. "She's dying," they whispered to each other. "Time to take what's ours." And take it they did. Sensory cue: the soft creak of wooden floors, muffled hospital monitors beeping in the background, neighbors seeing the pair loading silver, crystal, and furniture into their car. Emotional cue: shock, helplessness, betrayal. Our protagonist couldn't do a thing. Her safe space was violated while she lay powerless in a hospital bed. When she finally returned home, the devastation hit her like a punch in the chest. No dishes. Almost no furniture. Empty rooms echoing loss. She tried to reason with them. "Where's everything?" she asked, trembling. "We didn't take anything," they replied. Smiles forced, eyes cold. Neighbors, of course, had seen everything, but no one could stop it in the moment. Internal monologue: "I raised them. I cared for them. And this is what I get." The pain of betrayal lingered for years. The niece and nephew thought they'd gotten away with it, but life has a way of balancing the scales. Time passed. She lived quietly, never married, never had children. But she did something brilliant and deliberate: she updated her will. Sensory cue: the rustle of paper, the scratch of pen on parchment, the faint smell of old books and ink. Emotional cue: quiet determination, the flicker of a small but fierce fire of justice in her heart. After her heart attack, she changed the will to ensure the greedy relatives would not benefit from their theft. Instead, everything went to the church she loved. Niece and nephew? $1 each. They probably laughed, thinking the will would be overturned, that they'd find some loophole. Internal monologue: if she could speak from beyond, "You thought you could take everything while I was weak. Enjoy $1. That's all your greed is worth." The estate? A staggering $9 million. Emotional cue: justice is coming, but it's quiet, deliberate, and immensely satisfying. Let's take a moment to really understand these people. They were not just opportunistic, they were callous and shameless. They saw illness as an opportunity. They denied wrongdoing despite eyewitness accounts from neighbors. Imagine the arrogance. Imagine thinking that stealing from someone's hospital room is acceptable, and that no consequence could touch you. Internal monologue, audience perspective: how could people be so blind to morality? So blind to karma? And yet, all their misdeeds were quietly building the trap that awaited them years later. Sensory cue: the clinking of silver in moving boxes, the satisfied hum of a loaded car, the empty echo of a stripped apartment. Here's where the genius of this story lies. Revenge doesn't always have to be violent or loud. It was strategic, calculated, and perfectly moral. The retired nurse didn't need to fight. She used the law, time, and planning to deliver the ultimate justice. She ensured. Her will reflected her updated intentions. After her recovery from the heart attack, the church, as a trusted and respected institution, would inherit the estate, leaving no room for manipulation. The niece and nephew got precisely what they deserved. Nothing more than a token, symbolic gesture. $1 measly each. Emotional cue: the sweet satisfaction of justice executed without violence, only intelligence and patience. Internal monologue: let them think they've won. They won't know what hit them until it's too late. Years later, the inevitable moment arrived. She passed away peacefully, knowing she had secured her legacy and her justice. Sensory cue: soft light through stained glass windows in the church, murmurs of congregation members, the smell of old wood and polished floors, the faint rustle of papers as the will is read aloud. Emotional cue: satisfaction, triumph, and moral vindication. The will was read. Niece and nephew, $1 each. Church. Everything else. Internal monologue, audience perspective, and just like that, greed got exactly what it deserved. The shock on the faces of the greedy relatives was priceless. Mouths open. Eyes wide. Hands shaking. They had stolen thinking no one could stop them. Now the universe delivered justice tenfold. Dialogue enhancement. Niece, this isn't fair. Nephew, we should get more. Church representative, calm, firm, this is exactly what your aunt intended. Emotional cue, sweet humiliation. Complete reversal of power. Let's break down why this story resonates so deeply. Empathy and outrage. Everyone feels the sting of betrayal, the pain of being wronged by those closest to you. Patience and intelligence over violence. The nurse didn't confront or fight physically. She used planning and foresight to let karma take its course. Perfect moral balance. The greedy got only what they were worth. The generous institution and her legacy benefited instead. Universal satisfaction. Audiences feel a surge of justice, an emotional reward for seeing wrongdoers face consequences. Internal monologue. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, quietly, perfectly, and irrevocably. Imagine the relatives sitting there, expecting inheritance, expecting rewards for their theft. Then the will is read. $1 each. Shock freezes them. Their faces flush red with embarrassment and rage. Audience internal cue. This is the exact moment our sense of fairness is fully satisfied. Sensory cue. Shuffling papers, faint gasps from congregation members, the weight of moral justice pressing in the room. Emotional release. Vindication, triumph, the warmth of seeing greed punished without malice. Only the elegance of justice. Internal monologue. They took everything from me while I was weak. I may have been powerless then, but not today. So, what's the takeaway? Greed can blind even the cleverest. Karma isn't instant, but it's precise. And sometimes, the most satisfying revenge is quiet, patient, and completely deserved. If you loved seeing greed meet perfect justice, hit that like button, subscribe for more stories of karma served cold, and comment below with a time someone got exactly what they deserved. Trust me, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing justice delivered the right way.